You're listening to Leisure World Direct. I'm your host, GRF Communications Manager Emma DiMaggio, and I'm joined by Executive Manager of Mutual Services, Dave Potter, and the Golden Rain Foundation's newest Executive Director, David Norvell. Welcome to Leisure World, David.
Thank you, Emma. I'm excited to be here.
What are your first impressions of Leisure World?
Overwhelmingly positive. Everyone has just come up to me and been so friendly. You can sense the sense of community is palpable. It's fun to watch people having fun here and enjoying each other.
Totally. How did you make your way here? What made you decide to work somewhere like Leisure World?
Well, for someone who's been in the association development and association management industry for a few decades, this is kind of like the Super Bowl for what we do. Coming in with the challenges, trying to help the community be as good as it can be, helping members connect with each other. That's exciting for me.
I know everyone will have your qualifications on their mind, so tell me a little bit about your experience in the HOA industry.
Well, I started out, somebody asked me or shared with me once that I'd be a good HOA manager, and I asked them, what's an HOA? I had no clue. And so I finally found out, and I've actually enjoyed it ever since. And I've done everything from creating hundreds of HOAs from scratch, creating governing documents that, in my mind, will stand the test of time, making changes when necessary and appropriate, and making communities grow and build them, grow them, and make them better over time. And I've done that with hundreds of associations from all kinds to the smallest associations to $30, $40 million home associations and the challenges that come with that.
I know beyond your real-world experience, you're also credentialed. You and Dave, who we're more familiar with, have something that some people might refer to as alphabet soup at the end of your name, representing all your credentials. Can you tell me about what all the letters mean?
Well,
Dave.
Before we get to that, this is going to get a little confusing with two individuals on an audio podcast with the same first name.
Oh, time for a disclosure.
Time for a disclosure. I'll try to go by Dave, I think, and Mr. Norvell will try to go by David. But if we get confused, please feel free to jump in and correct us. Second, the alphabet soup at the end of our names. This is, for starters, this is a really bad hand to draw in Scrabble. There's not a lot of vowels. There's not a lot you can do with this. A lot of C's. But what these signify are various designations that we've earned through some of the trade organizations that are interested in the industry or specifically in community managers in this industry. So this one here that is the CCAM, Certified Community Association Manager, that comes from an organization that is the California Association of Community Managers, or CACM, one more acronym to keep track of. But they are a statewide organization focused here on California, and they certify community managers, and they are an entity that is focused entirely on community managers. There are no other members that are really accepted for that particular organization. The other three that you will see here, the CMCA, the AMS, and the PCAM, those are all from a separate organization or entity called the Community Associations Institute. That is an international trade organization that serves all of the stakeholders in the common interest development industry around the world. So you will have community managers, such as myself and David, who are members. You will also have vendors that focus on serving homeowner associations, and you will have board members as members of that also. These three particular certifications are available to community managers. One is the CMCA, that is the Certified Manager of Community Associations. There is the AMS, that is the Association Management Specialist. The CMCA is kind of the first level of one you can get. Once you have a CMCA, you can continue to progress and get an AMS. And then the last one, the PCAM, the Professional Community Association Manager, that is considered the gold standard in our industry. It is akin to actually getting a master's degree in that you have to write a very significant thesis-length paper in order to achieve a PCAM, have that judged by a panel of industry folks, and they will give you a thumbs up or thumbs down on if you get it or not. And it's actually quite a feather in David's cap that he has that.
Well, the fact that I can spell PCAM, was the start. But
Not the pie, we're clarifying.
What's that?
The pecan pie.
The pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's a bit of an effort, but you do have to go through quite a bit. And there's even more. There are more letters we can put behind our names, and I know both Dave and I are constantly looking at ways to learn more about the industry so that we can help the community here. Because it's not just about what's happening within the gates. It's the information that is shared with us from the country and outside the country, as Dave said, that makes us more knowledgeable, better, capable of helping this community.
I know you mentioned that it was standard across. One of them is for the state, one's the country, it's an international sort of thing. Mm-hmm. What makes this the gold standard? It seems to me that most executives that come through Leisure World in the last few years have all of these letters, but a lot of people don't understand really what they've taught you, and how they've prepared you for this position.
So the short answer is I consider the PCAM the gold standard because I don't have it yet.
But he will.
Understood.
But in some fairness, the PCAM is the harder one to achieve. I mean, these other ones, and I'm not trying to denigrate anybody, including myself, who has achieved these, but they are fairly straightforward in their time commitment. There are classes that you take, there are tests that you take and that you have to pass, and I know people who have tried that and have not been able to do it. Again, I'm not trying to denigrate folks that have most of the other certifications. I'm one of them. The PCAM requires a lot of in-depth work. That paper that I talked about earlier, there is usually a community that is selected somewhere in the United States. Everybody has to interact with that board, with their vendors, with their legal counsel. You have to find out what is going on there. What does that board feel is an issue or a problem that needs to be solved or worked on in the community? You have to review all the documents, all the financials, and you have to determine for yourself in your independent professional judgment, what do you feel the issues are that they need to work on? And then you need to present this 100-plus page paper outlining everything that you've learned, your analysis, and what your professional recommendations are. And if this is a state where you don't currently operate, you also have to familiarize yourself with that state's operating laws and rules and regulations in order to speak and provide accurate information.
Interesting.
So that's,
well
for me,
said.
why I consider it the gold standard, because that level of work is very, very significant.
Yeah, that's really well said. That's exactly the process that we deal with when we get the PCAM. But it's also what we learn from doing it and what I've learned from doing that, plus all the other work I've done in this industry. I plan to use that process here for my edification and for the community to see what I can do to help the community engage with each other and to move forward with all the new things that are going to be coming down the pike in the future.
Moving on from the certifications, how are you going to use that experience? What's your vision for Leisure World like in the next 6 to 12 months? And I know that this is a big question since you started on December 1st, or 3rd, I mean.
And I was just going to say, for the listening audience, just to timestamp this real quick, I think we're on day 6 of David's employment here. By whenever you're listening to this, whether it's this Friday or 3 months from now. So asking him the 6 to 12 month question, I just want people to be able to frame this appropriately depending on when they're listening to this podcast.
Thank you.
Well, I guess the best thing I can say is that I have to immerse myself in the community. I have calendared right now to meet probably every single board member. I'm going to take those board members, each of their top issues. I'm going to synthesize that information just like doing that PCAM master's type paper, and I'm going to take this back to the staff. I'm going to let the staff look at it because this is an amazing staff. They've already shown me what they do and what they can do. And we're going to then take that to the board and say, look at all the things we actually agree on. Because there are a lot of things that everyone agrees on. Maybe we knock out the things we agree on, the easy ones, and then let's work on the other ones. Those are going to take a little more time. But there's a way to do this. There are processes we can use. There are techniques we can use. And we can make this as good a community as it can be, even with people disagreeing, hopefully just respectfully and listening to each other.
For people who maybe by the time of listening this haven't met you yet, what would you want to impress upon people about yourself as an executive director and how you'll approach this community, which is a very unique place to live and work?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I would say that my style is collaborative. I want staff to come and tell me what the issues are. I want them to tell me if I come up with an idea and it's not a great idea, they need to tell me it's not a great idea and then come up with alternatives to those ideas, because staff knows more about this place than I do. So I'm still learning. It's been really amazing how much great information staff has shared with me in this short time and the way they've shared it with me. So I want everyone to be able to come and see me, talk to me. If you have anything, I'm here for you.
How have you been immersing yourself in the community so far?
Well, I have been roaming around a bit. I've met a lot of people. I'm going to continue to do that, because the more I meet people, the more I find out why they're here, what works for them, and what doesn't work for them. And maybe we can find some way forward to make it as good as possible for those that live here and want to live here.
What's one thing you hope residents will quickly learn about you through that process?
That I'm available. I will talk to anyone at any time. Come see me, call me up. We'll find a way to talk. We'll be together if we have to, for whatever time it takes to learn what your issues are.
That's going back to what you said about being collaborative, not
Yes.
just with staff or board members, but with the community.
Homeowners, the communities, anyone.
How can residents, as you're listening to them, how can they support you during this time and transition, since you are brand new?
Well, just tell me just be upfront. I have one huge failure that I have never been able to overcome. I don't read minds. Tell me what your concerns are. Tell me what the issues are. Let's see what we can do about it.
Is there anything else that you think would be important for people to know about you as you do start your new position?
I like this. This is fun for me. And the more challenges, the better. And if things work well, I'll work myself out of a job eventually, because there won't be any more challenges. I like this place. There will always be challenges, but I look forward to them.
Thank you. It's been very nice to meet you, David, and I hope the community feels the same. You have been listening to Leisure World Direct.